Hi, how are you all? We are back. So today we'll be discussing on the remaining miscellaneous problems and fraction, which we have started in our last session, and we'll try to complete most part of it, if not all. And if something is left out, probably in subsequent session or tutorial, same will be addressed. So let us quickly recap the different type of problems. We'll learn, or we have already learned, like we'll learn on how to write fractions on words and how to change words into fraction. We'll also try to identify what exactly numerator and denominator is, and then we'll find out a particular denominator or numerator of a given fraction. Then we'll also find out a fraction of a whole, and if there is a quantity that has been given as a whole, and if we are being asked to find out a fraction quantity of the whole quantity, how to do that. Also, there are certain very wonderful word problem that we'll discuss in detail, how to change fractions into division. Then we'll also learn how to reduce a fraction into lowest term, what exactly lowest term is. Excuse me. How to compare different type of fractions, um, which one is bigger, which one is smaller, whether they are equal to each other, between like fractions, unlike fractions, proper fractions, improper fractions, mixed fractions. We'll also learn to solve fraction problem in descending order, in ascending order. We'll also learn how to solve subtraction, conversion of different fraction, mixed to improper, improper to mixed. Then subtraction between mixed fraction, addition, simplification, comparison between mixed fraction and improper fractions. So all these things we'll learn. It will be a wonderful learning session. So let us start.
Okay, so let us start our discussion on how do we reduce into lowest term. So what do we call it as an lowest term? We call some fraction as lowest term when the numerator and the denominator cannot be further divided by any common factors. We call that fraction in its lowest term. Now consider 3 by 8 is in its lowest term because neither 3 or 8 is having any common factor except 1, and if we divide 3 by 1 and 8 by 1 we'll end up into same number, so it is into its lowest term. Whereas 4 by 6 is not in its lowest terms. For example, 4 can be divided by 2 and 6 can also be divided by 2. Here numerator and denominator both are having a common factor, which is 2. So if I divide 4 by 2, we get 2. If I divide 6 by 2, we get 3. And we can write 2 by 3 is the lowest term for 4 by 6. Actually, the fraction 4 by 6, the amount that is being represented by 4 by 6 is equivalent to the amount that is being represented by 2 by 3. So let us see our old example of a pizza. If I divide the pizza into 3 equal parts, so consider this is 3 equal parts. My drawing is terrible, but this is 1, 2, 3, 3 equal parts. Out of 3, 2 equal parts we can represent as 2 by 3. Now let us divide this pizza in not in 3 equal parts. Let us divide it into 6 equal parts. Okay. Now we have 6 equal parts. Now out of 6 equal parts, if we consider 4, so if you see 1, 2, 3, 4. If we consider 4, and this is 5 and 6. So 4 out of 6 is equivalent to 2 out of 3. See, 4 out of 6 is, let me change the color. 4 out of 6 is this portion. And if we talk about 2 out of 3, the same pizza I'll draw, and we'll try to make 3 equal portion. So 2 out of 3, if we represent it here, is this portion. See, 4 out of 6 and 2 out of 3 is the same portion, isn't it? And we do it by dividing the numerator and denominator by a common factor. Here the common factor is 2, and we divide 4 by 2 and 6 by 2, we get 2 by 3. So 2 by 3 is the lowest term for 4 by 6, and that is the answer. Now we know what exactly lowest term is. Let us complete our problems. So 2 by 10. So is there any common factor through which we can divide the numerator and denominator? Yes, 2 is the common factor. So 2 by 10, if I divide 2 by 2, we get 1, and 10 by 2, we get 5. So 1 by 5 is the lowest term. What will be the lowest term for 6 by 8? The same way, we need to find out a common factor through which both numerator and denominator is divisible. So here the common factor is 2. If you can see, both the terms are even number, both the numbers are even number, numerator and denominator, and let us divide it by 2. If we divide 6 by 2, we get 3. If we divide 8 by 2, we get 4. So it is 3 by 4. Now the last problem, 16 by 28. Can you find out one common factor? Yes, I think you have already noticed both of them are even numbers, so 2 has to be the common factor. Let us divide numerator and denominator both by 2. If we divide 16 by 2, we get 8. If we divide 28 by 2, we get 14. So now we get 8 by 14. Is it the lowest term? No, it is not the lowest term. It can further be divided by 2, which is a common factor for both numerator and denominator. Let us divide 8 by 2. So if we divide 8 by 2, we get 4. If we divide 14 by 2, we get 7, equal to 4 by 7 is the lowest term. So you will also get this type of problems reduced to lowest terms, and this is how you have to address those problems. Now there is a comparison you have to do. That means you have to either identify whether it is less than, it is equal to, or greater than. Now 3 by 4 and 1 by 4. How do we do that? If you have got a pizza which is equally divided into 4 portions, here you are designating 3 equal portions out of 4 portions, and here you are designating 1 equal portions out of 4 equal portions. So obviously 3 is bigger than 1. So here it will be this. So we always point out to the smaller number. In the same way, 2 by 8 and 5 by 8. Here 8 equal portions, and out of 8 equal portions, we in the right hand side it is 5 equal portions, and the fraction is 5 by 8, and when we signify 2 equal portions, the fraction is 2 by 8. Obviously 5 by 8 is bigger than 2 by 8, so it will be this one. So this is the smaller one. Here this is the smaller value. Now here in both the problem, if you see the denominator is same. So if it is 4, so if you consider again the same old example of pizza, and if you divide it by 4 equal portions, here 3 by 4 you are designating 3, and here 1 by 4 you are designating 1. So 3 by 4 is always bigger than 1 by 4, isn't it, in the pictorial presentation? So it is easy. Now, how do we solve the problem where it is mentioned as different fraction? It is unlike fractions. Here it is a proper fraction, but it is unlike fraction. Here it is given as 2 by 25 and 11 by 15. Now how do we know which one is bigger, which one is smaller? The way of doing it is finding out the LCM of both the denominator. So here 25 and 15. 25 is the denominator of the first fraction and 15 is the denominator of the second fraction. First, what we have to do, we have to do a LCM. Now what exactly LCM is out of scope for this discussion. We'll have a separate session where we'll have elaborately will discuss what is LCM, the definition, and how to solve different LCM problem, how to find out the LCM for multiple numbers. We'll do that, will be taken care in that tutorial, but not here. Here I will directly take you into finding out the LCM for 25 and 15. Just see, if you are aware it will be wonderful. If you are not aware, no worries, you just get the solution and later on you can refer the LCM tutorial to find out how LCM is being done between two numbers. So 25, 15, and if we do a LCM, we have to find out a common factor through which it will be divisible. It will be 5. So 5 5s are 25, 5 3s are 15, and then again if we divide it by 5 it will be 1 and 3. If we divide it by 3 it will be 1 and 1, nothing left out. So 5 into 5 into 3. So LCM, the full form of LCM is smallest common multiple. Least common multiple, actually it is the smallest common multiple, but that means it is the number through which can be divided by both the dividend here. So let us see the number 5 into 5 into 3 into 1 into 1. It is 5 5s are 25. 25 into 3 equal to 75. If you can see, you can divide 75 by 25. So 75 is your dividend and 25 is your divisor. The answer will be 3. And 75 is your dividend and 15 is your divisor. Your answer will be, can you give me the answer please? Yeah, 15 5s are 75, 15 1s are 15, 15 2s are 30, 15 3s are 45, 15 4s are 60, and 15 5s are 75. Now what you have to do, you have to change in both the fraction the numerator to the LCM value, which is 75. So here 2 by 25 will be represented as 75. Now if you change 25 into 75, what exactly you are doing? You are multiplying 25 into 3. So 25 into 3 equal to 75. Now if you multiply denominator by 3, you have to multiply numerator also. So 2 will also be multiplied by 3. 2 into 3, which will be 6 by 75. Let us see how 11 by 15 can be done. So you have to change 15 to 75. So 15 into 5 is equal to 75. Now if you multiply your denominator by 5, you also have to do the same for your numerator. You have to multiply your numerator also by 5. So 11 into 5. So it's come down to 75, and 11 into 5 is 55. Now if you see, the same 2 by 25 is represented as 6 by 25. Same 11 by 15 is represented by 55 by 75. So which one is bigger? Here 55 is the numerator, which is bigger than 6 as a numerator, because here both the denominator we have made identical from an unlike fraction. So we made it as an like fraction. So there are multiple things we are addressing here. How do we change two unlike fractions into like fractions, and how do we do LCM, and how do we change when we are changing the denominator accordingly, we are changing the new have to change the numerator, and how do we compare unlike fractions by changing it into like fractions. So many things has been addressed here. So here this is the small one, so that will be our representation. So the actual answer is 2 by 25 is smaller than 11 by 15. Please note that we have discussed lot many things in this example while elaborating these examples. My request will be, you need to go back and you need to rerun it if you have difficulties in understanding any part of it. But once you understand, this will be very interesting.